Great to be back with you on Social Replay. Captain, how we feeling on Monday morning?
Feeling good, brother. Feeling good. How are you doing?
We're good, man. We're good. No complaints. Family's good. Life is good. Weather's about to get cold, but who wants to talk about weather? But, things are good.
Did I hear, were you calling somebody the wrong name over the weekend? Give me the background on this story that I got from Kelsey.
All right. So let's take it back a step here. So, as all married folk know, it's hard to get that date night in there. We got ourselves a date night last Thursday. We got the babysitter set up, and we were all excited. And we get to go to
Who set up the date?
Who
Who set up the evening?
Oh, come on, your boy's playing everything here. You got to know how this works.
Got you.
It was even the day before. Bear in mind, this place too, we're waiting seafood company. Great meal. People had mentioned going there before, in our area. Had said it a bunch of times. It's one of those places you got to book out, weeks, months, maybe in advance, especially in the high season. But she'd mentioned we were talking about having a date night or whatever. This is probably a month ago. While we're laying in bed, and I was like, all right, let's look at the calendar. I'm like, all right, this date should work. Let's put it on the calendar. Made the reservation as we're sitting there at 11 p.m. I said to her too, hey, let's go to Rayton Seafood Club. The company it's available this time. All right, great. It's day of. Hey, where are we going? I'm all juiced up about the location. I'm pumped about this meal. She has no clue where we're heading. So, yes, your boy plans the things. But I digress. So, all right. One of my dad's things I felt like when we were at dinners all the time growing up, and Derek, my brother, does too, and I do. Get the server's name, and you're having an interaction. This person is taking care of you at times. I mean, you've had some of these meals. Our boy Darren and Charlotte. Can vastly improve your experience having a great waiter or waitress. The guy says what's up. He says he's a long time. He says, I swear to God, I thought his name was Cole. And we have a great meal. He's dapping us up. We're doing whatever was going on there. Great vibes, great energy, great meal. I probably said Cole no less than 400 times. Conservative estimate over the course of 2.5 hours. It's a lot of usage of Cole. This is my best friend. We get the bill. It says server, Noel, Noel.
Oh, man.
He never corrected me.
Where did you get Cole from?
It's loud in there. Cole, Noel. I think he said Noel. Sorry, Noel. But so Cole, Noel. It was close. Where did you get Cole from? Now, granted, Kels thought it was Cole the whole time too. It wasn't just me. No, but she's not using this name.
Maybe she was going off of you, dude. Dalen heard
clearly,
it.
She's not a good.
And
she's not a good listener.
And clearly, you went all in.
All in. All my chips on the table.
Wow.
Oh my God. Knew the guy's life story, where he'd lived, where he'd been fishing off of what docks, living in different countries.
Wow.
Noel, not Cole.
I mean, Dalen, this is the Rowayton Seafood Company, all right? This is the Catalina wine mixer. What are you doing here? You're getting the waiter's name wrong. Amateur hour.
I mean, I wish he would have corrected me because early on he said he asked for our names, and good so I remembered. Now he did. Now mine's abnormal. I'm used to this. A lot of Dalen's.
Yeah.
He came back and said, hold on, can you say your name for me one more time after leaving the table and coming back? Of course. So if I was dropping the wrong name, he's all but in his rights to correct me. It's okay. No idea. Noel. So, not my best.
Well, to be fair, Noel is a little bit more of an obscure name versus Cole. They're both. I would never name my child either of those things. But
our respects to anybody that chose to make those decisions that might be listening. But all right.
You think we have a Noel listener? There's no way we have a Noel listener. Or a Cole. I would throw both of those out there. I don't think we have a Cole or a Noel.
Hey, there's some great Coles out there. Cole Porter. There's some big time Coles out there in the world. Noel Gallagher.
Trickle. Yeah,
dude,
fictional.
Cole Trickle. Unbelievable.
Yeah, fictional characters. No actual person is going by Cole or Noel, for that matter.
You know what? I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to add to baby number 2 list here. I'm going to add Cole, top of the list. Come on, Kels. We're going to force feed this one. Just to spite. It's a spite name. Just to spite your disrespect for Cole. I might name my next child Cole.
Dude, I'll never be able to meet. I'll never be able to meet the child. And yeah, and by the way, if we have one, you continue to float this second child. Can we get a timeline here? Where is our head at on this?
What am I, JC? I can't control this. I can't inseminate on my own. I mean, we got to. It's
all right,
you know what? It's crazy.
1 second, hold on.
Go ahead.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty here. What measures are we taking at this point to either avoid the news of a child, or to promote news of a child. Where are we on the steps here? Can we get into that, or is that too much? Have I gone too far?
Absolutely. You know nothing is off limits with our podcast here. And your boy's taking 0 steps to stop anything, and so is she. We're to the point now of like
this could happen tomorrow.
Checking ovulations when the effort is at hand, my friend. This is in the works, in the efforting, and we've got. Let's be real here. We've got an emotional concern from the wife here, starting a little worried about why it isn't happening. So and this has only been a couple months, so it's not.
So it could be imminent.
So it could be imminent.
Okay.
I don't think it's imminent this month. So
right. All right. I read
we'll
you.
Be seeing about next
read
month.
You loud and clear.
We'll be running back. But Cole may be 11 months away, maybe 12.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Cole.
We'll find out.
All right.
Cole.
I didn't know we were doing this. I thought this was just sort of a theory or like a metaphor. Second child metaphor.
No, it's not a metaphor. It's now I will say this as your boy stares down the precipice of 42. We mean her the one more conversation has gotten real already. Before we've even had it. It's already I'm already putting my chips on the table to be like, bro, lady, I can't be 46 years old bringing another child into the world. I just can't do it. They're going to be wheeling me down the graduation aisle at Fairfield Ludlow High School in 2045. This is not 50 whatever it is. I can't sign up for it. Can't do it. But I can name my kid Cole.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And Uncle Chris is never gonna see the child. We'll be writing birthday cards. I'll call him Noel. I'm calling him the opposite.
I'm not saying you're to call him Noel. Absolutely. I still stand by until she saw the receipt that said Noel. Maybe he goes by Cole. I still swear that's what I heard. And there's no way he wouldn't have corrected me. We were vibing, bro. Took a picture for us afterwards. Like, I mean, this is doing stuff that I'm not a big fan of that, but it's nice that like somebody does it. And he like tried to make it a nice picture so she's happy and we're good. And,
dude, he's working for.
Now we need to go back just to make sure what is. I want to ask at the front. Is Noel working?
Yeah,
today?
he's working for tips, man.
Cole, like,
he ain't correcting you. They're working for tips. I mean, how? And you can't tell me that it wouldn't have affected your tip if my man was like, "Hey, buddy, it's Noel." You'd be like, "All right, 15%."
No, you come on, man. The way I was saying it, I would have been like, "Oh God, I'm so embarrassed." That's 25.
All right, I got you.
Like pure embarrassment.
I
mean,
you.
Just crushed. Like I don't know if I've heard Kelsey laugh that hard when she saw the receipt after.
Yeah.
She's like, "His name's Noel. You've called him Cole 400 times."
That's funny.
She was cracking up, and my embarrassment was deep. So I hope I see that man again. Also, because I made our meal. Let me ask you. This is a bonus. Let me ask you a question. Is it inherently elitist to say I appreciate really good service?
No, not at all. Because A, it's lacking more and more these days. Yeah. It is never to remark that somebody. And first of all, you never know what that guy's doing. This could be a side gig. I mean, this guy could be a hell of a singer or an artist. You know what I mean? Like, could be side gig. And I would never feel bad about complimenting somebody who is good at their job, takes pride in their job. So, hell no.
Okay.
You've revealed a lot there, though. Like you clearly, obviously, naturally look down on these people based on the way that you frame that.
Well, the point is, I'm not doing the serving here. All right, so it's like it's when you say that I appreciate good service, you are inherently saying, yeah, I'm not doing the service for people, but I appreciate theirs, which is true. But I just feel like a bit of a prick when I say that. But I mean, that people make a better meal, whether it's somebody if somebody's picking up your car, if somebody's again, these are things like cutting your grass, cleaning your house. They're doing services for you that a certain echelon of society affords those things. Wait staff is one of the few things that's everybody, pretty much. Everybody's gone to a restaurant. Everybody's gone to a meal. So you've had those people that make your experience way better. And that's probably the environment it's most appreciated. He had great recommendations. He had great, commentary, random stuff about his experiences. Again, fisherman here. I was doing this here. Like if it was a side gig, Chris, I think I would have known. Outside of not knowing his name, that was my boy.
Yeah,
outside of not knowing his name,
you got into the pedigree. I got you. You really related to that guy outside of knowing his actual name.
I was connected.
Yeah, you were connected. You were.
It's so connected, but I didn't know. That's how connected I was. Didn't even need to know his name properly. Just we were symbiotic.
Most people don't know. My brother lives in Rowayton. Most people don't know Rowayton exists. He's got to tell people Norwalk.
Oh, see, that's an interesting thing there from a socioeconomic standpoint. because I think Rowayton is technically closer to Darien, and Darien
he
is
would never say Darien.
big money.
He would never say Darien. And frankly, it's good that Rowayton. You know what Norwalk is. So what he says, Norwalk, which most people know, but they know it as like a little more blue collar than Rowayton, and certainly Darien.
Yeah, Norwalk is it's got a nice little downtown out type vibe, but it's a little bit more of a, not a city, but it's got some blue collar vibe to it, and it's a little more rough, more akin to Bridgeport. And these little towns we have, Westport, Darien, that's just exudes money. Greenwich, whole different level. I mean, it's just it's gross. But I love the branding for your brother there of Rowayton and saying Norwalk. Very interesting.
It's on the water, right? Rowayton.
You got to go to this place.
Yeah, I didn't know it exists. I'm going to ask him about it actually. Now that you brought it up.
Yeah. It's a cool spot. I guess it used to be just a market, and then the guy that made it a market wanted to make a restaurant. And it's like when you go to a place you've never been in, like that small little town's never been. It was dark when we pulled up, like 7:15. Obviously, the time change jacks everything up. So we pull up there, and I don't know where the hell I am, but like it's almost like it was built out of, I don't know if they're like old homes or like old docks. I don't know. There's a huge dock. It just has an interesting vibe, but you can't get a sense of where you are. And then you walk outside, and it's on the water, too, and it was dark and stuff. But it was beautiful. Beautiful spot. Got to check it out.
Yeah, I will.
I'm doing a lot of plugs here. It's not if it's going to get me anything in return. And
well, it's your guilt. You still have a great sense of guilt after how that went down the other night.
Perceptive.
Poor Cole.
Very perceptive guy you are. Fucking Cole. God damn it. Maybe I'll show up tomorrow just to see if I see he's around.
I love how Kelsey reveled in it, too. She just thought you were a clown show with that whole thing.
And on top of that, like the reason is like, did you see her? Did she post the thing?
I think it was a post, and she in the caption she was joking about how you called the guy there. Beautiful photos, by the way. You're a beautiful couple. I mean, just unbelievable.
Well, thank you
so
much.
Cole is going to be a good-looking child. I can tell you that, as Dace is.
Cole, you're a looker, buddy. I haven't even come to see you. Thanks. I made the mistake of like she said some other pictures. She's like, oh yeah. She said something like, post those pictures. I'm not sure you're going to love the caption.
Yeah.
But then that prompts me to like go and find it and be like, what do I do with this? Like, am I responding publicly? Because I was like I was catching strays, which was, I felt the need to defend myself, but man, she did revel in it.
Well, I love that you're saving your reply for the pod. That this is, you want Dalen's reply to the caption heard around the world? Come to the pod.
Tune in, wife. Give it a listen, wife. Go ahead. Oh, God. All right. Anything else on my stupidity?
No. We've covered that.
We've logged in on that. Oh, brother. All right. Are you ready to get into some topics here? Let's do it. So one of the biggest things in sports right now is the fact that we can't watch our sports if you have YouTube TV. So, the Disney, for those who don't know, Disney and YouTube TV have been in a carriage dispute since Halloween. So what that means is Disney pulls all its channels off of YouTube TV. So that's ABC, all the ESPNs. And when you're in these weekends right now with college football and Monday Night Football, like that's a big freaking deal. And that's a big part of what we consume each weekend. They're now up to 10 million customers. They also have the Sunday NFL ticket, which will come back in this conversation shortly, I imagine. But what's your service? Do you at all impacted?
Yeah, hugely. We have YouTube TV. Switched over about a year ago from DirecTV. And I love the YouTube TV experience. Really, really love it.
Yeah.
I will say, dude, the viewing experience as it is now for live sports, meaning having to go over to Disney Plus, there's sports we want to watch on ESPN, so we had to get the extra Disney Plus subscription to get the ESPN. We didn't have it because we had it on YouTube TV. We then got it. So now we're in the pocket more, okay? And then the other thing I would say is the viewing experience of live TV on Disney Plus is subpar. It's subpar for two reasons. One, for live sports, when you have so many other sports on, you want to be able to click around during commercials. But when you're watching, and people know this, but I'm just giving you my experience. When you're watching a live sport on Disney Plus, you have to back out of that sport, go back into the app, and then click onto whatever you want. And that takes, obviously, seconds, precious seconds. The other thing is...
maybe 30 or 40. It's not that short sometimes.
It's not that easy.
The buffering, whatever.
It's not that easy.
Yeah.
The other thing is, when you're watching live sports, the ability to fast forward and rewind or to pause. You cannot, I was watching the F1 race on Disney Plus yesterday, paused it like halfway through the race because I had to go pick up Mackenzie from someplace. You come back, it goes back to the main homepage of Disney Plus, and when you go back into the race, you then have to fast forward. I had to go figure out where I left off. So it doesn't pause and hold it there. It's a terrible experience. And then the fast forwarding and rewind, when you fast forward or rewind on YouTube TV, you get a little box that comes up and shows you where you are. On Disney Plus, you don't get that. So when you're fast forwarding or rewinding, you have no idea where you are in terms of end of commercial or not. And so, I mean, I'll throw it back at you. There's obviously a lot here. The first question is the conspiracy of is Disney doing this on purpose? Are they doing this to get people like me to have to then, they're so desperate for their sports this time of year that they're going to foot the bill. They're going to pay two bills simultaneously.
There's a lot here. First of all, let's real quick on your experience too, because we went through the ESPN app, but through the bundle, and I guess Kelsey has it, and you can probably do it too. There's some discounted thing as an employee. It's a couple bucks off a month. It's not a lot, but she had it, and I didn't even know that. And when you go through the ESPN app, the experience still sucks. It's just not as bad as what you said. I could pause the F1 race for an hour while I made dinner. I watched it later in the day, and went and unfettered. It's unbelievable that I somehow didn't know the result. It was great, but it paused there. So I would say the ESPN experience isn't good at all because the multi-view sucks. To your point, going in and out of games is impossible. If you want to go back to a CBS game, you got to go back to a different platform altogether. Like it's a freaking nightmare relative to what's going on. But the big picture here, there's a couple things here that I think are fascinating. So first and foremost, as we're talking about, ESPN did create this app, and they put it housed in Disney Plus, or you can go through the ESPN app that launched in August that has all their content. It used to not be ESPN or ESPN2. You couldn't watch it. You couldn't stream it directly to the consumer, DTC product, because they were trying to protect the cable providers. Well, that's gone. They did their own thing in August. An underreported thing, I think, in this whole discussion is they just bought Fubo TV like 10 days ago. It just went through. The Disney now owns another streaming service that was a former competitor to YouTube TV. So much so that when this first happened, guess who I went to for a 5-7 day trial? Fubo. And I didn't know this relationship existed. I just needed to get ESPN elsewhere. And the problem with that one, Chris, is they didn't have TNT. So the first night of college basketball season, where the two good games were on Turner, I was now going between Fubo and YouTube TV to watch different games. It sucked. But Fubo now exists. So they have Hulu Plus Live Sports. That's one thing that Disney's had for a while now. They have the Fubo piece, and they have their own over-the-top product. So the long and the short of this is, yes, of course they're doing this on purpose. Of course they want to put YouTube TV's feet to the fire. Because, yes, there are almost 10 million customers at YouTube TV, and they get a good, handsome number per customer that pays from YouTube TV basically directly to ESPN to carry this content. That's the fight. What's the number? What is the price per customer? And I believe it's now around $15, and that's what they wanted to maintain or move up a little bit or down. The actual specifics are hard to really know. That said, I think they're willing to sacrifice that subscription fee for $15 a month to get you to do what you did, either buy the over-the-top bundle or go to a streaming service that they own in Fubo, which makes total sense to me. Because now, with that in this relationship, I just started reading this yesterday, those subscription fees for Fubo now are going down because they're being paid to the same parent company. So this is all being worked together. And the last piece of this that I think is really interesting, because all business is personal. The guy that runs YouTube TV's platform now is Justin Connolly. Justin Connolly is a former Disney executive. That the last 6 months, Disney's been tried to sue for breach of contract for for Google taking him. So he signed a contract through 2027 back in 2024. There's been this ongoing battle, which apparently just a couple weeks ago got settled. And part of that settling was that Connolly had to recuse himself from these negotiations because he has all this proprietary, as Disney is saying, confidential information, given his experience, that now he's using against them in their negotiation with YouTube TV. So there's a personal thing here with Connolly, who thought he was going to be the president of ESPN at one point, maybe thought he could be the successor to Iger. There's this thing going on with him and the other executives at ESPN and Disney and all this other crap. And per normal, in sport today, who gets screwed All of us. Every single fan that has YouTube TV. There's my rant.
Well, that's way more context than I had, and it is enlightening. And to as an extension of what you just said, I feel like that in every walk of life now. I mean, this government shutdown, like people aren't going to get food stamps. I mean, what are we talking about? And this is how when it impacts me, then all of a sudden, like flying.
Yeah,
we are pawns. In these, we are the ones inconvenienced in these games, these political games, these games of high finance, these pissing contests between these billionaire individuals and corporations. We are the ones, you just said it perfectly, we are the ones inconvenienced. And it's infiltrating every walk of life now. You said it. The consumer, the citizen, we are the ones who are the pawns who are being inconvenienced.
And I think the thing that bothers me, too, is a lot of the corporations and the individuals are just completely out of touch with what's going on with the regular people here. Like, you do have a $3 trillion company, I believe, at latest market cap for Google. Disney's is $200 billion. So nobody's crying tears for either one of these companies, all right? You're very valued, hugely wealthy companies. But you're putting out these statements, both of them over the weekend, trying to make yourself look better in public light with no understanding that nobody gives a crap about how you're spinning this. You just have to figure it out. And placing blame does not do anything. It does not help anybody. And I do believe that Disney wants you to blame YouTube TV, so you go to their other products. Like they want to be the problem and the solution to you at the same time. And I get it from a business standpoint, but you're making a bet that you better capitalize on. That's the only thing that this is why, years ago when John Skipper was the president of ESPN, he made the point of live rights and those valuable things, and they started overpaying for rights. This is the only reason why.
Yeah.
Because without these live rights, I don't need their channels. And they know that. But God, Lord, do I need them on every Saturday and cut in the fall. Like, that was a brutal viewing experience to not be able to just watch your multiple games in multi-view. Like, I've become an addict.
Yeah.
Like, when I can't see what's going on in 3 or 4 different games at once, I'm not happy. And that's the problem. And when you mentioned the government shutdown, it's the same thing where you have a president posting a redone bathroom that's gilded in marble and gold, where literally you are fighting. They are in court fighting to not allow SNAP benefits, your food stamp benefits, to go through. To say you're going to penalize states that try to do it anyway. It's just a complete lack of touch and empathy and care for the people that are the citizens and the consumers that you hope to be serving. But I think it just tells you, in big business and in politics, it really is about self-serving. It is not about serving the customer. It is self-serving. It is bottom line. It's not that we don't know that. It's just things like this, in both worlds, just slap you over the head with it, in the most egregious way.
I should have seen it, like the way that these costs of streaming services have compiled. Like the premise, when we got rid of DirecTV, we were paying an exorbitant amount for DirecTV and didn't watch half of the channels on DirecTV. Okay, so we'll get rid of DirecTV. We'll go to YouTube TV. This is the wave of the future, and then we'll buy into a few of these streaming services that we also would like to partake in. But now we're at this point, man, where we're paying for an obscene amount of streaming services, and now we're being boxed into this position of, well, you got to own YouTube TV, but then you also have to own ESPN. It's just amazing how these costs, at a point in time when we first looked at streaming and all of these different over-the-top services, we're like, oh, maybe we'll save $1. Get rid of DirecTV. Maybe we'll save $1 because we don't watch all of those things that DirecTV is charging us for. But then here we sit at this point in time, and we're paying more than it's gotten worse. That's my point, is like we just, when you perceive, whatever you thought about this last election, okay, whoever voted for Donald Trump, I would hope felt like under his leadership, things would be better than they were the term under Joe Biden. Well, people can make their own judgment. We're not necessarily a political show. But my point is, we go into these things thinking that it's going to make it better. And to your point, money, greed, and a thirst for power, ultimately, we are infallibly human. These are human beings who are making these decisions, and you said it more articulately than I ever could right at the end there. This is about human beings who are solely self-serving. And it sucks. Sucks big time.
It sucks big time. And I will say what the other part that's hard about this too is these are smart business people. Because what they have recognized in their weakness from YouTube TV and for something like this with ESPN in particular is they went and paid a ton of money for the NFL Sunday Ticket. And that's what's kept me on the platform. Because I went to cancel. So just to understand, I went to cancel right away. I was like, I'm not standing for this stuff. I saw the FUBU trial, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to cancel. Maybe I'll come back. Because what you said, it's a great product, man. It records every single thing you can say, every NCAA men's basketball event. It just does it. And that is, granted, we have synergy. And it's nice sometimes just to sit down and have the game, every F1 event. Anything you want. It's unlimited. It's unbelievable. Yeah. The product itself. It's a great product. So there's, again, smart business people that give you something that you really want and need and give you, in today's context, what you think you need and don't even know it yet. They're giving it to you and you love it. But this Sunday NFL Ticket, as I went to cancel, I was like, all right, my billing cycle ends November 21st. This is like November 1st. All right, so I'm in for 3 more weeks anyway. Okay, well, let's see. Should I wait and see what happens? What happens if I cancel? So I click cancel and it says, are you sure? If you cancel, you will lose your NFL Sunday Ticket for the rest of the season. That can't come back. So that's like if I cancel, but then I return in 6, that's gone. My billing will be paid, but I will not have the content to view the NFL Sunday Ticket. And part of the reason I looked at that, too, is the Steelers had a national TV game this week. We just played last night, got their asses kicked. And I would have had one game in question, essentially, about where I can watch this game. So I was like, all right. But then you tell me that I'm not going to be able to watch the rest of the season. You got me by the balls. Like, you made a smart business decision to say, all right, this is a product that the country is obsessed with and kind of has to have. If it's on our platform, it protects us from things like this. And how they manipulate it that you can't cancel it mid-season, it's evil genius. Because now I'm stuck. To your point, now I have to have YouTube TV. We have to have the ESPN platform. And I'm looking at other services and be like, should I switch? But I can't. I can't leave. There's no point in leaving. Because you still got my Sunday Night NFL Ticket money. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to go to a bar to watch a game? So, then I'm spending money at a bar?
So what would your advice be? Do I have to give up YouTube TV?
If I were you, I would look and see when the cancellation, because that's part of my thing too. Is I wanted to cancel just to make my. It's like casting a vote. I wanted my thoughts or opinion to matter and them to be. They don't care about my $82 a month, but it makes me feel like principled. Like, hey, I did my part. So if you could do it, I would look at, all right, what streaming service gives me a free trial and for how long, and am I doing that? And if I cancel at YouTube TV, what am I losing? And can I gain it all in another place? That's the problem. I don't know if you really can. Like, and if you're really mad and you don't want to benefit ESPN, FUBU and Hulu Live Plus are 2 streaming services that are out. Like, because they both own them, so you are benefiting the other party that wants you to do this, that is getting your desired effect. So we are in a rock and a hard place, and between one of the biggest companies, period, in the world, and arguably the biggest media company in our country.
Going in and out of services sucks, man. It takes forever. It is a terrible viewing experience.
Let me ask you this, because you mentioned it before. We wanted to get away from cable. And bear in mind, part of why ESPN, Disney now owns Fubo is they tried to bundle Fox's assets, Warner Brothers Discovery assets, and theirs into one streaming service. Antitrust lawsuit came up. Fubo filed it. And part of the ending result of this was they had to buy Fubo TV. That was like their compensation. It's a weird settlement. But my point is, if you could go back to cable and we could run this thing back again for even $200 a month,
I would do it. Yeah. I would do it.
I'm right there with you. Like, I went from a great concept. All we're talking about, how do you make your money? How do you become sustainable? Yeah. How do you get your bottom line? F the customers.
I guess for sports. Now that I'm thinking, for sports, like, I'm fine going to Netflix. Netflix is a mood. It's a vibe. All right, I want to go on Netflix. You know what I mean? Or, with DirecTV, I can get HBO. So, like, I would go back to that experience. I would. It was so much better.
And I think your point is, I think Netflix is something wholly different. It's always been its own platform. It's something different. It's never been bundled in this stuff. HBO has, Showtime has, Stars has, all the sports channels. That was our experience. So yeah, if we could go back to that, and I could get rid of HBO Plus, and I didn't have to have Peacock, and I didn't have to have Paramount Plus. What else am I missing here? Like I have ESPN Plus. It's bananas. It's crazy, and it sucks.
Prime, Apple,
Prime. Thank you. Just all of them. Milking me.
Mm-hmm.
Milking me. All right. On that note,
you can milk it. You can milk anything with nipples, though. So, and you got
thanks,
some
Walker.
nice ones.
I was saying this the other day. I don't know if my chest shape is changing or my nipples are starting to protrude more, but they're really being present between outside of a lot of my clothes. It's making me really self-conscious.
They start to sag, and the muscle mass in the pectorals starts to deplete, but the nips ain't going anywhere. I mean, those things are staying perky and dark. I'm sure yours are dark, if I remember correctly, from the elevator.
You made me want to go
at
do you want to take a look here?
Yeah, those things are nice and dark. Man, what a shot. A little blood flow. Thank you.
Oh, Thank you. There you go. Good morning to you, Captain. Good morning to you. Yeah, but I'm concerned about the nipples. They're showing through a lot of shirts, but I think you're right. I think maybe the pectoral mass is changing. Body is changing. I don't know what's going on. Not a big fan of it. They were coming through a sweatshirt the other day. How's that possible? How are we nipping out with a sweatshirt and a layer underneath?
I can't say that I haven't seen your nipples protruding through shirts before. I mean, first of all, you wear tight clothes, dude. You wear tight shirts, and those nips point out. And you got a lot of energy to you, so I'm sure those things are standing at attention all day long. And you're trying to have a child right now, so those things are going to be extra perky.
I don't think that's how it works, but all right. Hey, Doc, we're working on having a kid. My nipples have been really erect lately. This really helps, right? It's good, right?
Yeah, it's what is that? Sympathy pains, or what are you having for Kelsey?
Oh, yeah.
You're nipped out because she's going through a lot of bodily stuff, potentially.
Absolutely. Potentially. And I'm nipping out because
you
of it. That's why. It's not because of muscle mass. It's not because of the tight clothes. It's about sympathy.
You're
nipples.
procreating.
I'm glad we got to trying to,
yeah.
at least. Trying to. We'll see. I'm ovulating. Let's go. All right, here we go. Woohoo! Oh, God. Maybe we'll just clip that off right now. Sweet.
Well, if you do, keep
right.
nipped out. I like that phrasing. Nipped out. You're nipped out.
Nipped out way too often, bro. I don't know what and again, you said the tight clothes, but when there's multiple layers, you'd think it's not having the effect, not having the desired effect.
You just add attention, man. All of you.
Clearly. All of you. All right, Fokker, let's move this thing on. One of the channels we could see on your big screen without an app experience was the game on Fox. So Indiana playing Penn State, the noon game. It's funny. I just had said to Kels over the weekend, I was like, man, it's tough for Fox because they'd built so many of their big Fox noon kickoff games around Penn State in the second half. And their season tanks, James Franklin gone. We've talked about in the pod before. They're playing a home game. The environment was still good there, but I think a lot of us assumed Indiana was going to roll. And they were up 20-7 at one point. And full disclosure, I was not tuning in. I was like, this game is going as the way I thought it was. And then I saw it got to 2017, and I think I got an alert on my phone or something. I was like, oh, let's tune in here. So you see Penn State make their drive. Indiana, Mendoza come back down 4 the other way. Omar Cooper. It was an unbelievable catch. And unbelievable. Like, before we get to that, did you get to see the game? Like, what did you take from the game in terms of? Let me back up. Let me ask it this way. In years past, I would have been glued to this game because the number 2 team in the country loses, and their whole season can go kaput.
Yeah.
But the challenge now was it's Indiana. They can lose this game, still make the Big Ten championship, still win the Big Ten title, and still go to the CFP without question as a 1-loss team, and even a 2-loss team. So I enjoyed it, but I felt I lacked some jeopardy as it was coming down. Fun, but lacked jeopardy. What do you feel about that?
Well, it's funny that you say that because given the new system and the fact that, like you said, they could lose that game but still move on to the playoff, there was part of me that was like, I don't know if losing this game would be all that bad if you're a believer that Indiana is good enough to win the whole thing. So there was part of me that said, this might be actually kind of good for Indiana. But your point is well taken. Like, this is the new system that we're operating under. I tuned in because, like you, I got the alert. I did not watch the whole game. I got the alert, and so I put it on. I would have liked to have, I loved the drama, and obviously the way it finished, I was really excited. I did tune in, but that was my first reaction, was like, 12 team, they'll still get in. They still have, an opportunity to play in the Big Ten championship game, potentially against Ohio State. This might be good for them.
It's a good point. I mean, that should be maybe the opposite way of looking at these things now. I mean, Ohio State's a perfect example from last year and the first time we saw it. They lose to Michigan, granted a rival. Literally, Ohio State fans want Ryan Day gone, but they know they're going to the playoff. They go and they just crush teams on the way to winning a national championship. So the loss is not always a bad thing. Are you bothered by that? Like, I mean, it is what it is. But do you long for the bygone era, or are you cool with where we're at with the 12 teams? Because I found myself sitting there just being like a little bummed.
Yeah, you sound like you wish for the old system or smaller number.
I just wish that every game felt like, oh my God, this is it. That is a unique thing in any sport, in the middle of the season, that your season can be made or broke, like that. And that's gone. And that was one of the few times I felt that way. Maybe the first time I really felt that way since this whole thing has been going on.
Yeah.
Since the expansion.
I mean, I loved... It's weird because the argument against further expansion, that's one of the primary arguments, is this, the depletion of value of the regular season. But I think we're at a number right now where, I mean, I loved, other than a few tweaks that they've made to the playoff format and to some of the, the mechanisms of how it works. I mean, I love the playoff format. I love how it went. I think, not to get into this whole discussion because it's done ad nauseum, but I like the number of 12. I don't know. It's a good question. So you're saying you love, if Indiana loses that game and we're operating under a system where that probably would have made them out, you prefer that?
Well, not that it would have just made them out. And now, because we've seen so many one-loss teams get in when there were 4 teams. What it means is, now you got to beat Ohio State, win the Big Ten championship game. Now that game truly matters again. Because now with either one of those teams going as undefeated teams, it's a fun thing to see. I hope we see a good game. Hope we see an entertaining game. But does it really matter? I mean, to guys who win a Big Ten championship, that matters. But to the casual fan at home, I don't really care. So losing that game, I think, puts so much jeopardy on that game, but then it impacts the whole rest of their season. And I get the argument for more teams involved and democratizing it, more teams at the table. I'm not opposed to all that. I've made peace with it. It just felt weird in that moment. That was the first time as I was watching the quote-unquote drama unfold, I wasn't fully ensconced in the drama because I'm like, this is a wild game, but it just lacked the stakes. And I think that my concern is, you're already hearing it now. Like Rhett Lashley, the SMU head coach last week, was talking about, how you got to earn it and more teams in. And, we've had other proposals from the Big Ten for 24 teams. We've debated this already on this pod. We don't need to relive it. It's just the more teams, it just dilutes the regular season. Those moments are now gone. They're dead. But we can enjoy the moment for what it is. Yeah. And for what it was, that catch by Cooper was freaking insane.
No, it was ridiculous. Well, my biggest concern after that game was for Gus Johnson. What happened there?
Let's have a listen to the last call. Gus is great. It's not to crush him. Did he just lose his voice?
Here's what I think. And I love Gus Johnson, and who am I to say anything about Gus Johnson? I just think when you live your life as a broadcaster during a game at a 10, what do you do when a moment like that happens? And I think that's always been a thing for Gus, but I think that is one of the all-time moments. I mean, certainly in Indiana football history, but perhaps Big Ten history. I mean, that play was remarkable. And so when you operate at a 10 as a broadcaster, how do you go higher than what Gus Johnson already lives at? That's how you get higher. You go to where only dogs can hear you.
Well, that's what I want to know. And I don't know if anybody knows this outside of Joel Klatt and the spotter there. Was he still like, were words coming out and nothing? Did he go dog whistle? Was he?
Do you think it was?
Couldn't hear because he just like was gone.
Do you think it was a physical malady, like a problem, like he had a sore throat, or do you think it was what I'm saying, where he just lives at this extreme enthusiasm that you can't go any higher?
I think it's a combination of both. I think when you were up there all the time and that game was so dramatic that his voice, he was straining physically toward the end because that last quarter was a whole lot was going on in that last quarter. And there were some massive plays and big calls, and I think he was living at a high level, and then his body did not deliver. And that's what's weird. And again, we're not, as you said, who am I? Who am I? Gus is one of the best in the business. He's great at what he does. He's had iconic calls. You want these moments that are iconic. As a guy that has called a fair amount of games, you want to meet that moment. And I've been there before where you didn't meet the moment. And there are times I felt like I did meet the moment in retrospect. But you want to meet the moment. And that's a hard thing to do all the time. It just physically, I was almost distracted by it. I was like, did he catch it? And also, what the hell is Gus saying?
Right.
Like I couldn't even. I lost him in the mix. So yes, that's part of why when Nance gets so excited, it's like because Nance operates at a very much at a certain level, and when he goes up, it's because it's huge deal. And that up and down, that modulation of your voice and of your tone and of your energy is what speaks to people that are watching the game. And then your words have to connect to the moment in a special way to really make the viewer, to enhance, again, it's kind of like the service thing, to enhance the viewer's experience of what you're seeing. Because you take the broadcast out of it, you'd still be amazed at that pass. The broadcast can either elevate it or detract from it. And in this moment, it was such an amazing play. And what a call by the back judge, too.
Great call.
Called it a touchdown on the field.
Yeah, but they know that's being reviewed. I'm not giving him that much credit. They know that's being reviewed, bro. Don't give him that much credit.
But he could always say incomplete then. He could always say incomplete.
Yeah, all right, fair. That's fair. But I think, I don't know. He had a good look, though. He was standing right there. He was right there. Yeah.
He was right there. That grab was an all-timer. And the fact that he got his feet, when you're watching it live.
Yeah.
What? And then you see the replay, and it's just boom, right there and in and out. But Gus. All right, well, let me ask you that then. Do you have, as I said, elevate the experience? You got an all-time favorite? Like when you think of your favorite calls, what do you think the best calls are? Do anything connect with you?
No, man. I don't. Not really. Do you have one? I'll think about it. I don't.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Like, there's not like a thing you like. I love certain calls I've loved. Like obviously the ones that are big. Like I wasn't even alive, but Al Michaels. Like, do you believe in miracles?
Yeah.
Like those are. That's what I mean. Like the iconic. Like that's great. My dad used to always yell, "Down goes Frazier," which is what's my man? I'm blanking on my man's name.
Howard Cosell. Yeah.
Down goes Frazier. Yeah. Down goes Frazier. Like I'm not alive for them, but they withstood the test of time. My favorite that is unheralded, and I don't know if I set up the context first. Now let's just play it.
Guardiola, who plays it deep, Saifi with a header. Howard gratefully claims it. Distribution, brilliant. Landon Donovan, there are things on here for the USA. Can they do it here? Cross, and Dempsey is denied again, and Donovan has scored! Oh, can you believe this? Go, USA! Certainly through! Oh, it's incredible! You could not write a script like this.
So that's the World Cup 2010. Now, do you remember the Landon Donovan? Like, do you remember that goal, Landon Donovan? And again, these moments, because it's also what's going on in the field, and does the broadcaster deliver? Like you had a situation where the U.S. had drawn their first two group games. They had to beat Algeria. Their group they were expected to get out of. England first. They drew. That was a great headline for the New York Post. Yanks win 1-1. So we drew England 1-1. Where the goalie, you remember this? Robert Green literally dropped the ball into the goal, gave us a goal. Clint Dempsey shot it from 30 feet. It was like a grounder to first. It was Bill Buckner.
Okay.
He just let the ball roll into the goal. It was unbelievable between his hands. So U.S. wins 1-1. You get a point off England. We're down 2-0 to Slovenia. We come back. We win the game 3-2. Should have. Bad offside call before VAR. So now we have 2 points. We have 2 draws for 2 games. We got to beat Algeria. And in that moment, that's the 92nd minute. The game's over. This is it. And you hear Ian Darke's voice build as they make that progress down. And then, go, USA. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. But I know exactly where I was when I watched it. I mean, it was captivating. He delivered on the moment. It became an iconic, as a soccer guy in our country, iconic soccer moment that the sport needed. And I thought that was going to help propel the sport to more popularity and more U.S. success in the future. Hasn't quite done that yet. Sport's more popular. U.S. teams got some issues. But it was just one of those things, like, I love, like, personally, I love that call. It brings up so many memories. And it was a guy meeting the moment that has all this context and literally has to deliver. The team has to deliver, and he delivered. Ian Darke, one of the best in the business at that exact moment. And I'll always remember where I was and what that call, how that made me feel.
Yeah. No, I just don't. I don't have that type of Rolodex. I mean, there are obviously great moments, and the ones in the NCAA tournament stand out, but I just don't have. I mean, I have like watching that Cowboys doc that we talked about a few weeks ago. You're reminded of John Madden and like some of his calls and the way that he called a game and the way that he described the game. Like those things resonate with me. But and the Do You Believe in Miracles is an all-timer. I mean, obviously, I didn't want to go as obvious as you did there. I was trying to mine for something a little more deep cut, but
that was fair. But I had to let people know the obvious ones are there. You got to play
no
the hits.
Question.
You know,
no
play the hits.
You're right.
Did you know they're doing a Madden biopic?
No. Oh, I think I did. Who's
Guess
playing Madden?
Nick Cage.
No way.
Nick Cage. I'm saying 99.9% sure. Like a person, an executive was referencing like a lady that runs one of the studio production houses mentioned this to me. And I was like, how did I not know this?
Yeah.
And I think it's Christian Bale playing Al Davis.
Wow.
Which is
okay.
Remarkable. Yeah, Bale, Nick Cage, and Christian Bale as Al Davis. Confirmed. Can't wait. Don't know when it comes out. Literally can't wait.
Dude, I'm a big Nick Cage guy. I know he's weird and, whatever people's opinions of him are. I love that motherfucker's movies, man. I love his movies. I love how over the top he is in those. I just...
Face off.
Cut the chit-chat, a-hole. I just love Nick Cage, man. I really do.
Oh, my God. See, over the top is it. What was the... Welcome to The Rock.
Oh, the Rock. He was in Face Off. His performance in Face Off is fucking awesome. Con Air. Dude, Con Air is an all-timer.
I just said Con Air, yeah.
He had
with the bunny, with the rat.
Yeah, man. He had a stretch there. We went through this period where I was like, dude, to John David, I was like, dude, we're going through a Nick Cage run here. Like, we're going through the Nick Cage. Oh, yeah. Con Air. We did with The Rock.
You celebrate the whole catalog.
Oh, celebrate the catalog of Nick Cage. Let's go.
You might be the only one. I love this.
I do. I got a thing for Nick Cage, man.
What was the one with Jessica Parker? Like, not leaving Las Vegas.
He was in Leaving Las Vegas. Yeah, a little bit depressing. That movie he was great in it, but
yeah, that one's a little deep.
And Elizabeth Shue.
But that like helped put him on the map.
My child crush, Elizabeth Shue, was in Leaving Las Vegas.
Of course. I feel like the Sarah Jessica Parker one was like a redux of Indecent Proposal. I think your boy James Caan was in that. He like wanted Sarah Jessica Parker for a night, and something was going on. It was like early 90s.
Yeah. Okay.
But I haven't seen him in anything in a while, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, the greatest Want a Woman for a Night movie was obviously Indecent Proposal.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is, it's a redux of that. It's the same thing like a couple years later. I feel like that's
okay.
I think that's basically, it seemed like that was what they were doing. But instead of Redford, it was James Caan.
Yeah.
And instead of Demi Moore.
Demi Moore, yeah. I mean, where are you at on that? Demi Moore or Sarah Jessica Parker, right? Not even close.
Oof.
Oh, you're hemming and hawing.
No. At the time, it's all Demi Moore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Demi Moore to the cows come home. Just exuded sex.
No question. Even in G.I. Jane, I'd have taken that down.
100%.
Definitely.
Oh, I would have killed to be in that platoon.
Yeah.
Just I would have loved to be in that
fact,
platoon.
I started scouring for women with shaved heads for a period. I had a period of man. I even tried to convince Jamie to shave her head at one point.
How would you feel about these clippers? Just on your
and then I wanted her to do one-armed push-ups. I wanted the whole thing. The whole G.I. Jane experience.
And the shortest white booty shorts ever with a sports bra. I want you to do one-arm push-ups.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Kels,
get
on it.
My nips are getting razor sharp right now, dude. Nips are popping.
Just rock hard.
I'm nipped out.
Good cut glass. Well, I can't wait to hear Nick Cage go, boom, tough acting tonight, and all the other.
Boom! You get some right up in there in that hole. Turducken. How about a little turducken?
Oh, God.
Who plays Pat Summerall?
That's good stuff. Well, talk about people up and down like that. Isn't that one of the greatest broadcast duos? Because Summerall is just Mr. Monotone.
Unbelievable.
And then you have Madden, who's just he's doing whatever he wants in painting. It's the definition of a color man. He is painting this thing live. But Summerall's giving you all the X's and O's in the most monotone way possible to compliment his team.
And evidently, Summerall was half in the bag for almost every broadcast. As I understand
Bob Uecker in Major League was motivated by that. What do we do?
Allegedly.
Drink on the job. Allegedly, your situation be concurrently improved. All right. Good stuff. We'll get to the movie review of Madden whenever it comes out. Can't wait. Nick Cage.
Love Nick Cage.
Anything else?
No.
All right. Let's ask some questions. Let me ask you a question. Socialreplaypodcast@gmail.com. Socialreplaypodcast@gmail.com. My friend, would you like to lead off, or do you want me to lead off?
No, I could go first.
Right.
This is a question. I'm sort of catching you on the spot here, so you may not have a direct answer to the question, but it's more a discussion about the misappropriation of this word. The word is literally. Is there a word that has been taken by the youths and completely bastardized more than the word literally? And here's my problem. The word literally carries with it its own degree. The word literally is representative of the highest degree. And yet this word has been taken by the youths to mean it is meant to express some sort of fake degree, but it has been taken by the youths to be nothing of what the word actually means. And I mean, I know this isn't new. I know this has been going on for some time, but it was time to bring it up in the pod here, man. Where are you at on the word literally, and is there a word that has been bastardized worse than that word?
Well, I hate answering a question with a question, but this maybe shows my ignorance. Like, you're telling me the generation, your kids' generation, maybe John David, they are using this.
They all are
bad meaning good. Like, I don't know this. What's going on?
To the point where my 8-year-old Madeline used it last night. She was trying to get.
Put it in a sentence for me.
She was trying to get at Mackenzie, and she goes, "Mackenzie literally never comes downstairs." And I said to her, I go, "Madeline, you can't say that. You can't use that." And she's like, "No, I wasn't being mean to Mackenzie." I said, "No, I don't care about you being mean to Mackenzie. You be mean to her all you want." I said, "Your use of the word literally there is ridiculous." I said, because Mackenzie, you may think that she doesn't come downstairs often enough for your liking, but she is certainly downstairs every once in a while. In fact, she's down here right now. So your use of the word literally is awful. And I turned to John and I go, it's you who is teaching her how to misuse that word, because you use that word inappropriately all the time. All the time, the word literally is misused.
I think I have bad news for you on my take. I don't think it's the Utes. I feel like I'm hearing literally used wrong all the time, and for years.
Really?
I feel like I use it for emphasis,
You
but improperly.
Yeah, you do.
Like almost like he literally never comes down her. She literally will never put that thing away. No, I feel like I hear that from people.
Dude, I'm cringing as you
like
say that, and I think you do that. That's why I'm bringing this up.
I think
you do it. I think you do it.
You passive aggressive mother. Get out of here. There's no way.
I think you do. Let's address this now.
Regular.
What's wrong with you, man?
Give me an example. I don't think it's me. I think I hear people do it.
Yeah, but that rolled right off of your tongue a second ago when you were giving your examples, and I feel like I've heard you do this before. And I feel like the English department at Columbia would be really upset with you.
My MLA guidelines for not being met here.
Yeah,
yes,
MLA
this is not appropriate. Now, I cannot fully absolve myself. I think I've probably used it improperly once or twice in my day. It's not a common part of my vernacular. I think I use it for exaggeration occasionally when it's maybe not all the time or maybe not the highest regard, but it's damn close. I'm not using it as flippantly as you're saying. I am absolving the younger generation because I think our generation is just as guilty of this. I feel like I hear it a lot. Like I said, I heard the word irregardless. That's not a freaking word. It's not how this thing works. And so there are things like that have my antennas up. But to say that I am a guilty party in this and a perpetual line stepper when it comes to the use of literally, I cannot concur.
It drives me insane because the word carries its own power. The word literally has power. And we have just taken all of its power and just completely destroyed that word. To the point where I now have to say, he literally doesn't do that. And I mean literally. Like you have to now qualify your use of the word literally if you mean it as Webster intended.
Well, as Webster and the captain intended. I will ensure that I get this out of my vernacular. If it's actually there, I'm going to have to go downstairs and have a conversation with Kelsey about this. Now, part of why I think I'm absolving the younger generation is I do think I'm married to a lady.
I was just going to say,
Kelsey,
love Kelsey, but she's got misuse of the word literally written all over her. All over her.
Babe, I didn't say it, but I think he's right.
Hey, where are you at on, do you use resiliency?
No, it's resilience,
Thank you.
Isn't it?
All right, we're on the same page. We got a lot of resiliency going on out there. That is not a word. The word is resilience.
Especially in our industry, too.
No question.
Industry, because everybody was talking about resilience
I
all
heard
the
it.
time. So resilience.
I heard it 4 times yesterday on NFL broadcasts. They're showing great resiliency. No. Too much. You're doing too much there. They showed great resilience.
Mm-hmm. I think I need to make a list here. We need to have a list of words.
Dude, I got a whole. I'll send them to you for the pod moving forward. Do not misuse.
Do not jack up. And I like how you had this plan for my use.
Dude, how intellectually arrogant am I coming off? How elitist am I coming off right now with this sort of correction of
through the roof, through the roof? But I appreciate
beautiful.
it. I appreciate
beautiful.
it. It's to form. It's to form.
Beautiful.
I like it. You might get more elitist with my question here. And mine is motivated by watching, when you watch primarily NFL football, because CBS and Fox, this is really the only times I'm watching those networks is live sports, and they're promoting all their shows. Next Wednesday, Young Sheldon is back. Young Sheldon and Molly and Greg, and I heard this the other day on CBS, the best, the number one new comedy in America. And I just thought to myself, and I felt, who in the hell is watching these shows? So the question to you, my friend, is, what was the last network sitcom you will admit to watching?
This is a good one.
And as you think about it, I'll just give you my thought process, because I did this yesterday. It is like cheating. I had this in my head. I was racking my brain, bro. I think I'm going all the way back to The Office. Yeah. Like I was like, I didn't really watch Parks and Rec, but people liked it. That was a little later. The last network sitcom I remember watching is The Office. And that's at least 15 years ago.
Yeah, I would, and it doesn't count if you watched it later on like 30 Rock. I didn't watch 30 Rock live when it was on NBC.
I'm saying, when they were promoting the show, you were part of the audience. So, I mean, they did a 40th anniversary. They did a promo for Law and Order the other day. It's the 40th freaking year.
So I think I would go back. I was on a real American Idol kick for the first 2 seasons and then stopped watching after season 2. Okay. I watched The Voice for a few seasons. These are not sitcoms, obviously, but these are promoted. I think that's it, man. I think before that, probably The Office. I was really locked in on that. And before that, probably Friends. I mean, it's a great question.
That's the thing, is because I think there are shows like The Voice is, and objectively there's some talented people, and people like the show. I like the show, and I've tuned in at different times, no problem. There are shows like that I think can span generations. I think my question is not elitist as much as it's ageist.
Yeah. Because
I don't know anybody sub 50 that's watching network comedies, but they're still making them, bro. Yeah. And they're taking their most valuable real estate in television, the 425 CBS window or the 425 Fox window, and you're promoting these shows where I'm just like, who in the hell is watching these things? And I think it speaks to the purchasing power and the longevity of life now that this baby boomer generation still carries a ton of weight politically, financially, and in terms of how these networks operate and run their businesses. Because you're making these shows for somebody, and it sure as hell ain't for me and you.
Right.
And it ain't for our kids. And just the promos themselves, I'm like, this show sounds horrific. It's laughable. But people are, somebody's watching. You have to be. Because you're promoting them, and they're making them still. And it's been decades since we've watched one of these things.
Yeah. I think certainly elitism plays into this because I'm sure there's people out there who are still tied to network television. They don't get
you think young Sheldon? There's a lot of young Sheldon viewers that are 35.
Yeah, well, did you get into what was the show 30 Rock? What was the show with the not 30 Rock? The show with the Big Bang Theory. That was a huge hit, massive.
That was a big hit, but I didn't like that. But at that time, because that was promoted a lot, 15, 20, when I was in my mid-20s. And yes, that was kind of the example. There were people that I know in my group that were watching that show. So you were of that audience that is getting that promoted for them. And you mentioned 30 Rock. I get it, but that was a long time
ago. Yeah.
There's.
I think that it's funny you asked that, man. I think that all the time too. I'm like, who are they talking to? It's like Jim Carrey in Truman Show when she's in there. They're having a fight and she like starts promoting Moco Coco, and he's like, "What are you doing? Who are you talking to?" That's how I feel when those promos come on.
Laura Lippy? Is that her name?
Linney.
What's her name? Laura Lippman?
Linney.
Laura Linney. Thank you. Sorry, Lippy.
Come on, dude.
I think Lippy's a character in Billy Madison. I think that's the teacher of Miss Billy Madison, Miss Lippy. Dude. But she does turn like dead to the right. She's like, Coco Moco. It's a great delivery. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Dude, the last one of this, the other day, it is the lack of ingenuity too, but again, somebody's watching them. They have a 3-hour NCIS block.
Yeah.
It's 3 different cities. And like, come NCIS Miami, NCIS Orlando, and NCSI Original. I'm like, dude, this is so sad. They had one block of the week where it was just Chicago dramas, med, ER, and fire. Yeah. What the F are we doing? Like, it's just such bad. But again, somebody is watching as you are promoting these things on your most valuable real estate. There's nothing else you'd rather tell your audience about? Apparently not.
Apparently not. Apparently not.
All right. Anything else?
No, I think we've exposed ourselves significantly today.
One more time for the crew.
Oh, dude, thank you. What a goodbye present.
All right, nip out. Rate, review, subscribe. Social Replay Podcast. For the captain, I'm Dalen. We'll see you next week.